Come on. Come on, slideshow, do me a favor. Here we go. Perfect. All right. Okay, we're ready to rock, believe it or not. Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this presentation today. This is our spring makeover, a 3-month wellness journey that we're going to be starting and kicking off here, well, today, but really it starts tomorrow, the first day of spring. And we're going to run this program through June 20th, 2022. Wanted to start this thing off by just saying kind of goodbye to winter and hello spring. I couldn't resist. It's springtime in the desert is starting here. Found this wonderful little photo that I threw up for everybody. And before we get going on the spring makeover event, I wanted to, first of all, congratulate to all of our winter wellness walkers, because I tell you, I don't know about you guys, we'll talk a little bit more about it towards the end, but I had so much fun over this last event period, getting out and walking. I'm loving it here from you guys in terms of reporting your totals and your steps and your miles and stuff. And I do want to report, even though I haven't had the final numbers yet, because we actually end through this weekend, the last day will be tomorrow. But I know just from consistency over these last several weeks, we will have met our 1,500 mile total. So I just want to thank you guys so much for the participation in this. I hope you all found, like I did, that it kind of got me out of the house and moving. It did help in a number of areas in my life, including many of the things that are up here on the screen right now. So again, I hope you all really enjoyed that as well. And it is something that we're going to continue on with in terms of moving challenges. But again, we'll talk about that in a second. You know, we are going to speak some about Sunrider Foods today. So as usual, I'd just like to put our disclaimer up here. None of the information provided in this presentation is intended to represent a diagnosis or cure of any illness or disease. Okay. Very quickly, why should somebody choose Sunrider? 40 years in business, stability. Happy anniversary, Sunrider, by the way, 40th anniversary. Not common in our industry, folks. Companies come and go overnight. Sunrider's been around for over 40 years. We're going to be around for a long time. This company operates in over 50 countries around the world, allowing any of us the opportunity for a global or worldwide, easy for me to say, business opportunity. One of the things I love most about Sunrider is being able to travel around the world, meet new people, being involved in new cultures. Sunrider handles 100% of all the research, development, and manufacturing of all of our products and foods. Again, very unusual in this industry where most companies will just provide a third party with a recipe and say, make my product for me, and they have no control over how that's done. Sunrider manufactures over 400 of the world's finest health and wellness beauty products, everything from whole food nutritionals to cleansing beverages to weight management, sports fitness, green household, and all natural skincare, all right here in the United States. If I can, Cheryl, can I turn to you first, please? Would you share with us very quickly, I mean, what attracted you to Sunrider? Oops, unmute, please, unmute.
See, you don't have to know technology to do this. Anyway, thanks, Mac. I fell in love with Sunrider over 34 years ago, and my life just works way better with it. I look great, I feel great, and I have a business that rewards me for my efforts, and it gives me the opportunity to give back. And best of all, we have a community of like-minded people that we get to hang out with and enjoy our life with. So for me, it's simply the best.
Fantastic. Thank you, Cheryl. Maybe one other, Dolphin, would you jump in and share as well? What attracted you to Sunrider?
Well, I got started as a university student, again, like over 30 years ago as well. And it was my first introduction to anything to do with holistic health back in the 80s. It wasn't as common as it is now. But what I love is that 40 years later, Sunrider still is the absolute best. They are always ahead of the trends. They're never following trends. They're always ahead of the trends. And just the quality, you know, you can see on this slide that just 100% natural ingredients. It's all food based. So I can with my client, I can have any kind of client and I can recommend this to. I can recommend this to my little nieces and nephews, my 92-year-old mom. Just absolutely, it just keeps it simple because everybody can enjoy it. It's safe, it's clean, and the owners make these products for their own family, right? So again, we just know how safe and high quality the products are. So that's why I love Sunrider.
Absolutely. Thank you both. Appreciate it. Julie, if we can turn to you now, our 5-element expert, will you kind of guide us through the 5 elements, please?
Absolutely. Thank you. In just a couple more days, we're going to have springtime. It's going to be here. Some of us, it's already warm. In other states, it's pretty cold right now. But, springtime really is a wonderful time of the year. It's so full of exciting potential and growth. We want all of you to take advantage of this energy and the possibility of springtime. That's where we have invited you to this spring makeover, especially if you're feeling stuck or sluggish. This is the time to do one of these little makeovers. So according to social media, this spring is especially going to be very exciting because people all over the world are enjoying more freedom. They're coming out of their houses. They're coming out of COVID lockdown and restrictions. And, the media says it's going to be kind of like the Roaring 20s. Well, I don't know about that, but I do know it takes energy to have fun. So we're going to talk about how to build your energy for spring. And always remember this: springtime is green time. In traditional Chinese medicine, spring is associated with the wood element. And think about this, it's connecting to us to the new buds growing on trees outside. That makes sense. Also, Chinese medicine says that the wood element is associated with the major organs, the liver, the gallbladder, the color green, our vision, and with the emotion of anger and resentment. And the taste is sour. All the elements have a certain flavor and sense organ. And the liver is the largest or internal organ of the body. The largest is the skin, but as far as the internal organ, it is the liver. It's the body's master laboratory. And what happens in there, it's where nourishment for the whole body is stored and distributed. The liver has basically hundreds of essential functions, including the formation of blood and the cleansing and filtering of blood to help the body eliminate toxins and ensure its continued vitality. Sometimes we don't think of it as a blood organ. We think of that more as the spleen, right? It's directly related to our immune system, where if we have a hyperimmunity or low immunity, it's the wood element that governs that. Its climate is windy, its direction is from the east, and its power is experienced in the time period of maybe more 11 p.m. to 3 in the morning. You might know somebody that's had a terrible gallbladder attack during the middle of the night, and that's not fun, but that's because that is the time of that liver gallbladder meridians. And as the liver opens to the eyes and gives us vision, both inner as well as outer vision, visual problems frequently are connected to liver imbalances. Sometimes as our liver gets, really toxic, our eyes do too. So spring is a time of creativity, new ideas, mental clarity, focus, and planning. And the liver also rules the muscles and tendons, which connect to imbalances and disorders that involve our muscles and ligaments, like bursitis, tendonitis, arthritis, fibromyalgia. Those all could be related to liver congestion and the elements. I like how one health practitioner compared the liver, and she said it was like a general who leads an army and excels at strategic planning. It's the role of the liver to make sure that all the body's troops are working together for the benefit of the whole. I never heard that before. Its main role is to keep everything flowing and thereby avoid stagnation and friction. It is said in Chinese medicine that the liver rules flowing and spreading. So if your body is flowing and spreading, that means that there is a free flow of energy, blood, emotions throughout the whole body, mind, and vision. That's a lot to think about. I mean, really, seriously. When liver and gallbladder energy is moving freely, it's easy to engage with growth and change of springtime. but equally easy to feel stuck and frustrated if our associated organs are blocked up. So to help us with that balance, Sunrider always provides food formulas for all the elements. That particular formula that I love is quinary. I love quinary for that reason. But for the wood imbalance, to keep our wood balance, I use alpha 20C because alpha 20C is very, very powerful. And so on the website with Sunrider, it actually says that when you take alpha 20C, it says it's for the immune system, but it also says when you have your wood element in balance, you will have more ambition, courage, and resourcefulness. I love that. I think, and we're going to hear more about that later today. The other speakers are going to talk about the products. So how do we know we have problems associated with the wood imbalance, the wood element? Well, we're going to experience things like muscle tension, tendon and ligament injuries, sciatica, oh, love that one, headaches, migraines, irritability, fibroids, PMS, digestive disturbances, including heartburn, irritable bowel, ulcers, high blood pressure. The list goes on because the liver does so much in our body. So our question is how to keep healthy and joyful during the spring. I think that's all what we want. We want health and joy. So here's a few tips. Remember again, green is the color of spring. So during these months, fresh greens are abundant. So we want to eat a lot of fresh greens daily. Greens help the liver to do its job, detoxify the blood. And I want to strengthen my liver and gallbladder meridian. So I eat the green pack daily. I love it. I drink Cali Mint. I have New Plus. And of course, quinary. And I love evergreen. Man, you can't get any greener than that. So these is what I do daily. You're going to hear more about that later. Also, you want to detox the toxins and the sluggishness. And for that, I use Sunrider Slim Caps and also Dandelion. These are all good sources of detox. And ultimately, it will strengthen that liver and gallbladder meridian. You need to move. The liver needs movement, and so do you, and so do I. So right now we're going to take advantage of doing some walking, our walking challenge to get, that is actually for the liver and the gallbladder meridian. So we'll enjoy that. Also, you want to recreate order out of chaos. So what is that? You go through your home and office and your purse, if you have a purse, and get rid of stuff you don't need. Have a garage sale, give it away, create the space for the new, because you can't have new come in when you got stuff everywhere. You got to allow new things in your life. Imagine what it would be like to create in your life and then find ways to make those dreams happen. And that'll help because your focus and thinking will be better because of your wood element being in balance. So also let go of old resentments and start afresh. We all know this. Grudges and resentments are indigestible and they damage our liver energy. We all know that. We all know we should practice forgiveness and then not store up any anger because that will damage us. Also, we can brighten up our face. I mean, literally, we can try the new Pure Skin Care. And by the way, it's in a green packaging. Remember, spring is green. And also we can whiten our teeth with Sunrider's whitening gel. I love that stuff. It is so great. Also take a risk, try something new. Maybe it might seem a little silly or scary to you, but there's a lot of potential in spring. And lastly, hydrate your body. Drink those glasses of water. We all know we got to do it. Add some lemon juice to it, a little bit of sun nectar. It's delicious. I personally drink Fortune Delight a lot. I love that stuff. I am in the afternoons, you call me anytime in the afternoon, I am drinking Fortune Delight. So we hope you create the energy needed to have some fun this spring, and we wish you the best. So now we'll give back the program back to our chairman, Mac Atkinson.
Julie, thank you so much. That was absolutely awesome. Ton of information. Can't wait to go back and listen to this again in the recording to pick up on all of those points you mentioned. So thank you so much for that. You had mentioned in your presentation that we're going to talk some about the products, and we are, and let me kind of move us out of the way here so we can't see us. If I can turn to Lisa, if you can unmute yourself, Lisa, please, maybe you can run through those first three products that Julie talked about, Cali, New Plus, and Quinary for us.
So we traditionally call these three products our NBC. and that means nourish, balance, and cleanse. So we nourish with NuPlus, our foundation food that fills our nutritional gaps with essential micronutrients, vitamins, prebiotics, which I never knew in the past. That's exciting. Amino acids, omega-3s, bioflavonoids, and antioxidants. Then we balance with quinary, which is 5 different formulas, each designed to strengthen and balance one of the 5 major systems of the body. Quinary is so wonderful because we don't have to analyze our systems to see where we are out of balance. We simply feed all 5. Kali is for cleansing. Kali is a healthy beverage that feeds our own cleansing system so our bodies can work at optimal performance. We already have systems in our body that should be working, and Kali nourishes them so that they will and do their very best. With these 3 products, we begin the process of regeneration, the basis of all the Sunrider products. I looked up the definition of regeneration just to kind of remind myself, just in a dictionary, and it defines regeneration as the renewal or restoration of a body, a bodily part, or biological process. So the more we eat these 3 basic foods, NuPlus, quinary, and Kali, the more and faster we regenerate. So now let's hear from Wendy Huff.
Yeah, so it was really interesting that Mac asked me to talk about Alpha 20C and Evergreen because they are absolutely my favorite products. And Alpha nourishes the immune system through the bone marrow, liver, gallbladder, and adrenals. It gets its name from what it promotes, T cells. It also helps your thymus, which is the crux of your immune system. It's made with bitter herbs and has kind of a mocha taste. It's very soothing. I like to make a tea, open in capsules and powder and in warm water or in shakes. And I love adding the stevia and the evergreen and drinking it that way. So as we said, the Alpha 20C is in the quinary formula, but you can purchase it separate in the bottle or the powders, and take extra if you have a specific health challenge. And Alpha 20C is also wonderful, excellent, if it is paired with Conco and Golden Seal when you're fighting, say, something respiratory. So Evergreen is a concentrated chlorophyll, and it's really a good blood builder, good source of iron. It's actually the lifeblood of plants. And let me see. Sorry. It provides powerful antioxidants and phytonutrients. It supports your energy. It supports the transport of oxygen and nutrients. So it's actually better than any other chlorophyll on the market because of the way that it's assimilated. It shortens recovery time after workouts, promotes healthy circulation, aids digestion, and it tastes good. So make yourself this grasshopper every day.
Wonderful, Wendy. Thank you. And Lisa, great information on all 5 of these products. Just a quick note, you guys, I know in previous challenges we've had required products, if you will. We're taking a little bit different approach this time in that these are products we're really suggesting everybody uses them. And as usual, I mean, if you're using them today, great, use more. And if you're not using them at all, please consider including these in your daily habits in terms of how you're feeding yourself. Judy, if we can turn to you now, maybe you can talk to us a little bit about some of the table foods for the season and how we might be able to shop better in our local areas.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Can you feel it? Spring is in the air. It's time to come outside and play, to dance your dance. And as Julie so well put it, spring is the greening season. It's a time for planting, not only in our garden, but in our lives, relationships, and even our work is stimulated during this time of the year. So that may be a hint to some of us. So what difference does it make what foods we choose? Well, every choice we make has a consequence. And so in spring, to get the most joy, as Julie was mentioning, we want to be also selective on our table foods. So we want to eat whole foods, and we want them in their how they're grown. We want to choose locally to our area because not all of us have the same products available to us. But the interesting thing is, wherever you live, what is grown there locally is what you should eat. So that's very convenient. So I appreciate that. And we want to eat our food in its whole form, the original, how it comes out of the ground as much as possible. So we can chop our carrot, we can shred it, but or even spiralize. But let me tell you, when you put it in your carrot cake, not quite as healthy. So that's what it means by original form and how it comes to us as much as possible. Now the chart lists some fruits and vegetables, some nuts, some seeds, some grains, and all of these, I encourage you to go online perhaps, or dig out those old health books that we all have, and treat yourself to some new recipes. Also, during this challenge, it's the most fun part of it to me is seeing the recipes of everyone else and how they present their food. Really a gourmet delight. So as you can see from the picture, there's no limitation really, or no, we're not just going to be eating a few things. We have such a wide variety, and even locally. But what we're focusing on is the top of the plant, the green. You know, in the winter, we were focusing on the roots and the warm things, the comfort food. Now we want the lively, the green, the go get 'em foods. And the interesting thing is, Julie mentioned sour as the taste, also bitter. So the bitter greens are particularly advantageous during this time of the year. I just got a health article sent to me on parsley. You know, we kind of decorate with parsley, or we might throw a sprig in here and there, or if we make tabbouleh. But this was talking about a large amount of parsley, or concentrated, cleans your arteries. Did you know cilantro actually pulls the metal, the heavy metals out of the body? So why not make a cilantro salad? I was served one that was fabulous with avocados and tomatoes, and they used cilantro for the lettuce, so to speak. So there's all these different ways to create and enjoy. And the interesting thing is the bitter greens are even going to taste better to you during this time of the year. So it's a win-win all the way around. And have you ever done sprouting? Fabulous time for sprouts. I mean, spring is about sprouting, new growth. And I don't know, that was popular a number of years back. I did it, but I got out my sprouting jar because this is a time to do that. You can have a mixture in there when you grow it. You can actually live on nothing but sprouts for 30 days, probably longer, but for 30 days. You know, all that storing away of all those dried goods and the canned stuff that we'll never eat, get out the sprouts. That's my recommendation for that one. Also, let's see, what else did I want to tell you before I have to get off, before they get the cane on me? Again, try to buy your foods locally at farmers markets. There's so many more choices in farmers markets now. And even you might have to go, you can even have some things shipped. But again, we wouldn't want them shipped from too far away because that wouldn't be as much locally. But I encourage you to look around, do that, add your table foods, consider what you're adding. Of course, Sunrider is concentrated whole food. That's our first choice. But how you back up your choices with your table foods will make a tremendous difference. So, bon appetit.
Thank you, Judy. That was awesome. Really appreciate it.
Very good.
This is a slide that really kind of talks a little bit about some of the things we're going to be doing differently in this particular 3-month wellness journey that we're all on right now. What we've talked about is doing a variety of things, but we've tried to encourage with some fun events for everybody and all. We had talked about doing some Sunrider bingo, which I know the company is participating in now. We've got our own ideas associated with it. Towards the end of the presentation, I'll show you a little example of some bingo cards we put together and explain more about what we're doing there. But Dolphin, this is something you and I had talked about a week or so ago in terms of incorporating. And I know that you've had some experience with other bingo corporate related stuff, etc. What do you like about the idea of doing these bingo games?
Well, it's fun.
Mhm.
And the nice thing is that there's going to be things in those little boxes that everyone can do. So you don't, there's not going to be as much pressure. This is my first time joining, this 3-month challenge type of thing. So I'm not even sure exactly what you guys did in the past, but with a bingo card, I just encourage people, all you need to do is get one line to get your name in the draw, right? For, and so that just generates, I think, excitement and fun. And it also creates, just like, oh, I didn't have my Cali today, and there it is on my bingo. So it's a great reminder of some of the products if we're not used to having maybe some of the different products, or for new people. And also reminds people to post. Oh, I can post about this. So it's a little bit of a reminder, but it also is just a great checklist and just something more fun. So that's
Absolutely. I thought so too, Finn. And again, you guys all go through the entire program with you. It's fairly simple what we've laid out, but there is a slide coming up that we'll do about that. One of the other things that we're going to do, and I alluded to it earlier and so forth, and that is we are going to keep on walking, okay? Be it walk, ride, bike, swim, whatever anybody chooses to do. We've seen, again, so much success over this last several months in terms of doing these walking type events around the world, honestly, and certainly what we just accomplished here. I just wanted to share again, as I did at the beginning, fabulous event. So appreciate every one of our winter walkers that kind of jumped in and did this thing with us, because it was fun. I personally got a ton out of it, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about that in a second. One of the other things that we're going to do, which is a little bit different this time, is we're going to be providing some Friday insights. And Lisa, if you can still jump back on for a second, I know this is one of the things that you were kind of championing for this wellness journey for us, and really looking forward to some of your Friday insights and what you're going to be posting for us on the website.
Yes, we're gonna call this Philosophical Friday. And I went back to the definition of what philosophy is. It's the pursuit of wisdom. It's one of the definitions. And so because we're so grateful for the wisdom we've gained during our time in Sunrider, little did we know that when we began learning about the Sunrider products, that we'd receive life-changing insights and principles that we could live by, that not only improved our health, but who we are as a person. And so we want to share these with all of you. So on Fridays, watch for these little gems, and hopefully they'll be as meaningful to you as they have been to us for me over 30 years.
Absolutely. Really looking forward to those Friday philosophical insights, Lisa. So appreciate that. The other thing we're going to do a little bit different during this 3-month period is we're also going to provide at least 3 specific training events during the 3 months. We'll try to focus one in each of the 3 months. And the first one, just because it ties in so well, timing wise, and with what Julie had really shared with us earlier, which was so cool, is, and Finn, if you wouldn't mind jumping on, we're going to focus on a spring cleanse, which I know is something that you've done for, gosh, 20 plus years now. Has it really been, give us a highlight and overview of what we might expect during this training that we'll be doing in the month of April.
Absolutely. So the introduction that we're going to do, the lecture, will give a little bit about my history as far as why cleanse. Like I started as a really young person being very interested in it. The do's and don'ts, I learned the hard way through that whole process of things that you really don't want to do. And then, so it just helps people do it safely and easily, so you have a positive experience. definitely we use Sunrider products, but we also use table foods. So I love the fact that we featured, gave some features on that today. But yeah, this will be my 20th annual guided cleanse. I did many cleanses by myself for many years, even before that. But what I find really exciting is one positive thing that came out of the lockdowns and all of that was it forced me to go virtual with my cleanse. And prior to 2 years ago, it was just a local event for people that lived here where I am, because we would meet in person. And when, 2 years ago, when I wasn't able to do that, I had my first Zoom virtual guided cleanse. And honestly, it opened it up so much so that I could help more people and more people could get involved. So I'm very excited to be able to offer this to whoever, is interested in, and not held back by, where people live or even the size of a room or anything like that anymore. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing more details about it in April.
Excellent. Well, and what we're going to do, folks, is we'll be promoting on the website when this training will take place. We will do it as a live event, if you will, like we're doing right here now. We'll record these things and, of course, put them up on the website for everyone to see afterwards for those that can't attend. Another one of the trainings that we're going to do that's very specialized this season will be towards allergy relief towards the season. And Wendy, would you mind jumping on and just giving us a quick overview as to what people might hear in that particular training session?
Well, allergies are a condition where the body's immune system considers a substance as a harmful invader and it overreacts. There's actually 10 most common allergies. They're foods, animals, pollen, mold, dust mites, medications, latex, insects, stings, cockroaches, perfume, and household chemicals. So people are using cleaning agents with bleach or ammonia, heavy perfumes, which come with warnings because of their toxicity in a closed environment. Could that lead to allergies or worse? You betcha. So there's a strong connection between, as Dolphin mentioned, between cleansing and our bodies addressing inflammation and avoidance that can help our allergies and our health in general. So how can the Sunrider foods help? Which foods should we eat more of? Which table foods increase allergies? Should I change my cleaning products? These questions and more will be considered in our special talk on seasonal allergies coming in May.
Excellent. Thank you, Wendy, so much. Another one, the last one, if you will, that's going to be a specialized training is around the idea of nootropics and our emotional and mental health. And Dolphin and Julie, I've talked to both of you about this particular topic, and I'm hoping we can all kind of come together again in early June to really focus on this one because, well, Julie, maybe you can jump in here a little bit. I know that you've read a lot of articles and we've seen a lot of things about some of the challenges people are going through right now. So.
Yeah, it's amazing that more and more people, well, we all know that people are having problems mentally, emotionally. I mean, just take a look at the news and we all feel horrible. But I thought was shocking was that when I looked at a retail, it was a magazine for people that are doing wholesalers of product. And what it said in there is that the nootropics was like the #1 most seller in the United States, #1, and it was billions of dollars. It wasn't millions. So that just shows the need for people to have mental clarity, be able to think, be able to have the focus in their life. So I think it's going to be a very exciting topic, and June's a great time for that.
Absolutely. Dolphin, maybe you can weigh in on this too, because I know you and I have talked many times in the past about nootropics and some of the Sunrider foods that help with our mental awareness, our emotional well-being, our mental health. And don't go into a lot of detail, but maybe you can give us a little overview on that side of the thing.
Well, when you think about it, it's not surprising, the facts that Julie just gave, because whether you're, say, a student that is, hoping to ace an exam, need to, have that mental focus and clarity, or a professional that is, striving to for a better promotion or a leg up in their business, or an elderly person who might be concerned about dementia. And then all the learning disabilities, the ADHD and all those things, all of that falls under the need for nootropics, falls under that need for feeding the mind, the brain, the nervous system, and the emotions that then correlate with that nervous system. So we have some, I had my very first experience, like I said, when, I shared at our rally, Cali tea, and how much mental focus and clarity just that tea helped. So we have something as simple as that to help nourish the brain. And then, of course, we have some really beautiful specialized formulas to really amp up the nervous system in a good, easy, safe way for any age. So yeah, I'm really I love this topic, and I wish I had started with some of these nootropics a lot sooner in my life. So yeah.
Excellent. Julie, Finn, thank you both. I'm very excited about this topic. Well, all of them, honestly, because they relate so well to what's happening in the season and so much of what all of us are dealing with right now. There's a couple other things that we wanted to be able to share with you guys during this 3-month journey as well. And my Zinster friend, Tim, are you on here somewhere? Maybe you can unmute yourself and come talk to us a little bit, because one of the things that Tim and I have spoken about over this last several weeks has been the fact that, men, a lot of times, I don't want to say we're forgotten in all of this, but in any case, Tim and I were reminiscing about the fact that men go through cycles and changes ourselves, especially when seasons change. And Tim, jump on and share with us a little bit about some of the things that we'll be talking about in the male awareness of the season segment.
Well, it's male awareness for female awareness about men too, and likewise, we should learn more about each other so we understand what our needs are. Hello, everyone, and happy 40th anniversary for Sunrider. I've been with Sunrider since 1987, and I love this food. I kind of got out of the biz for a while, but back at it because it just makes too much sense for me. But change of seasons, yes, we all get affected by the change of seasons, just like all animals, we got rabbits running around in our city, and during the winter they're white, and of course they're turning brown. Interesting. But we all have hormonal shifts that go on. But for men, during a change of seasons, it's just we tend to be a little more sensitive. And I'm kind of referring to Dr. Elson Hawes, somebody I studied when I went to school doing what I do. With Finda, as a matter of fact, also. And Dr. Elson Hawes, he had required reading for us, and also at John Baxter School of Naturopathic Medicine in Seattle. So it's required reading. And he's a medical Western medical doctor and Eastern medical doctor. So he has a very unique perspective on this. Anyway, according to him, especially around spring, and again, every change of seasons where the earth element gets messed with, every change of seasons through all 5. Men tend to go through a cyclical emotional pattern, just like a little bit like PMS. And I'm not a woman, I can't say I have experienced PMS, but we have our own heightened sensitivity. And if you have a guy in your life, and if you notice that he's a little grumpy, you might want to check to see if the seasons are changing, to see if he's on cue or not. And then we can have a little bit of empathy for him. Oh, he's just going through his stuff, it's okay. So, and also for us as men and women too, because we all we got the same systems. We all got 5 fingers, five systems. We're all going through a sensitive time, but men just tend to be a little more sensitive during that time. And it's good for us as men to be aware of that, so we're not biting people's head off. And yeah, they don't call it the season of frustration and anger for nothing. So it's good for us to be aware of that, so we're not and bringing that poison from those kinds of thoughts into our life, because that's what happens. anger, resentment, frustration, they tend to create a cortisol kind of response from our body, emergency response, fight or flight response, and that shuts down the immune system. And we are living our lives like we're running from tigers all day, and that's not a very good way to live. We could use that energy to regenerate, and that's kind of the idea. So that's hopefully not too long an idea, but just we'll definitely be touching upon that. What do you think, Mac?
I think, Tim, I'm really looking forward to it. And, without going into it now, we'll save it for the training we do. But
Of course.
I have to admit, and my wife would be the first to testify and agree with you that I've noticed myself in this change of season. There's been periods, and again, I don't want to go into a lot of detail here but I've been like on the verge so many times, of that emotional release that I really don't want to have. And a lot of it is frustration and anger related. And I've found myself, having spoken with you over this last couple of weeks, of it, aware of it, so I can deal with it easier. And again, we'll get into more of this later on during the session, folks. But again, as Tim said, if this is for both men and women, and hey, if you have males in your life, get them on this call, or once we record it and get it out there for you guys. The last one, Cheryl, if I can turn back to you, love thyself. We thought it was very appropriate to include during this period how we should love ourselves in so many different ways, in terms of what we're eating, what we're doing, our exercise, our pamping of ourselves, etc. And Cheryl, maybe you can jump on and give us a couple seconds on this one.
I sure can, Mac. I've learned over the years, if we don't take care of ourselves, we certainly can't help or take care of anyone else. And we're really excited that over the next few months that we're going to share some ideas, because every day we need to be nourishing our mind, our body, and our spirit. And of course, we do that with our Sunrider foods, and that works well. But there's so many other ways that we can be doing that as well. From daily gratitude to pampering with our wonderful products, and to joyful movement like our walking that we're going to do, and everything in between. There's just so much that we can be doing to make our life run more smoothly, feel happier and joyful, and be able to pass that on to others. So we're really excited to have everybody join us and hear what they're doing for their self-love that maybe we can benefit from. So the next 3 months are going to be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too, Cheryl, and thank you. And to the point you just made too, it really is important, everyone on the call, and please, anyone that you share this with that is wanting to join us on this journey, which I hope there's many that do. This is the kind of thing we're going to be doing. We are going to be sharing, and we really appreciate, more than all the posts and everyone kind of contributing to what we're doing on the private group Facebook page that was set up. Judy, if I can turn back to you for a second, maybe you can just give us a quick overview of how the event's going to work, similar to before, a little bit differences. Run us through things, please.
Well, as has kind of been alluded to, this is all about all of us. And the biggest learning experience and the most fun part is seeing what everyone else posts. And we do have a group page. It looks just like the beginning of the slides and the one we were just on, Spring Makeover, so you can recognize it. So you let your upline know. Now, Mac is everyone's upline, so we don't all call Mac, but your more immediate upline, which is any of the 5, how many of us participated today? I don't know. But the speakers today are your upline, or who you normally contact for information and things. That's who you want to let know on that. And the same for bingo. When you get a bingo, by all means, post it, bingo. That's half the fun, is just shouting it. So shout it out on the group page. But be sure your immediate or closest upline person knows, and they will then inform Mac. So the time to do that would be at the end of a week or the month, whenever you have a bingo, but the responsibility will be each of the upline people then to notify Mac. And we want to do this, and we want to encourage others to do it, because you get your name in the drawing, and we'll have that at the end of each month. So 3 months, 3 big chances, but obviously the more bingo you get, the more you get in the pot. So that's important. Now, a few of us are not real avid Facebookers. I was trying to set up page when I was supposed to be setting up a group. So there you have it. But you can just join Facebook just to participate in this. It doesn't mean you have to have a career in social media, although that's recommended and good for business, but you don't have to do that. So if you just want to be on the page, have someone help you do that. But if you're adamant and don't want Facebook, then it's up to your sponsor and the rest of us to try to send some things out in email form and keep a part of it, because to whatever extent you want to participate, you will be welcomed. And a big tip here, it's a lot more fun if you're working with others and encouraging them, because you don't want to miss the recipes or anything else. So post as often as possible. Daily is great. Comment on others. Ask them questions if you don't understand what they did in that recipe or whatever. We want to hear from you. What works? What's working? How? Look at the tips we just got from Sunrider about cleaning the grout. My goodness, who knew? So there's tremendous tips, things that will make a difference in the cleanliness of your home and the things you eat and how you feel. So we hope you'll join us with that, and just bring a springy spirit, because we're all excited about this. So the more the merrier. So I hope you'll join us.
A springy spirit. I love that. That's great, Judy. Thank you so much. Oh, hold on. I went too fast. We did talk about reinitiating our walking program. And folks, again, I know for many of us, we just completed our trip to Dallas, which is great. And I don't know if we're going to reverse it or what we're doing, but I did kind of set the same goal out there for everybody. And again, I hope we can encourage everybody to do it again. And Wendy, I know you and I were talking the other day about some of the experiences and the feedback you had from some of your group. Would you share just a couple of those real quick for people?
Yes, I would be happy to. We had 12 participants in our group, and I was so impressed with the high number of miles with that everyone walked each week. In fact, it kept going up higher and higher as people became more committed, and everyone did great. But I especially would like to mention our good friends Dawn and Delma, who reported 52 miles together one week, 26 miles each. And Dawn is over 70. Lois Anglin hit 11. She's over 70. And Yolanda Eckert hit 22.5 in 1 week. I won't tell her age. So it shows it's not really so much about age as it is fitness level and building up your endurance, challenging yourself. So bravo to all the participants.
Absolutely. You know, Wendy, thank you. And I just want to share one other thing, and there's a lot of us that tune into what Sunrider's doing with some of their challenges. They're looking at a buddy program right now in terms of a physical challenge. So I guess what I really wanted to say here is all of the things that we're trying to do tie in very well with what Sunrider's asking us. So if somebody's participating in the Sunrider program, this will only support that with synergy with what we're doing here as well. So, you know, you don't have to divide or only do one, you can participate in all. And again, I hope we can encourage everybody to get out there and walk, run, bike, swim, whatever works for you this spring, but get out there and get some movement going for your body. It's only going to be a positive. I'm going to come back to this slide in a second because I wanted to come to the bingo one and just share with you guys again and kind of just repeat what Judy had shared with us, because Judy, it's all right on. We are going to have a separate bingo card. This is example of one that we'll be posting here, or something similar to it over the next couple of days on the website. I'll be trying to get it out there as a printable document for everybody, but we're going to do a separate card each of the 3 months. So there's 3 chances to win. There truly will be a grand prize each month. I'm not going to tease you with what that's going to be yet, but it'll be something great, I can promise you. We're going to have a different bingo card each month, and we're kind of kicking around ideas. Obviously, we want people to be using the food. So the one this first month is maybe going to be a little bit more food oriented. The second one may be a little bit more oriented towards our 5-element training in terms of posts, but we're going to surprise you each month with a new bingo card that you can be using. And again, what we want everybody to do with this is to have fun. I mean, the idea of winning a grand prize is great, but to Julie's or to Judy's point earlier, what we want each of you to do is, as you reach a bingo in a given week, day, month, whatever it happens to be, let your direct upline know. They will keep me posted. the number of bingos that each of us have, and let's just say I have 3, Julie have 5, Wendy, you have 7, whatever it is, all of those bingos go into a hat, if you will, for a random drawing at the end of the month. So it doesn't matter age, whatever, anyone can participate and play in this stuff, because a lot of times the squares will be filled with, again, making a post on a recipe or a positive saying, or, you know, what Sunrider products you're using, or those kind of things. And of course, it's all on the honor system. We all trust you guys. So just have fun with it is the point. Okay. So that's what the bingo is going to be all about. And just to kind of wrap this thing up again, you guys, I can't tell you enough personally for me how much I've enjoyed these 5-element trainings over this last year. I've noticed such improvement in my body and my health and the things that we're doing, because I've taken the advice of Judy and Wendy and Julie and Lisa, and I've been consuming more of these seasonal foods and eating from the local environment. And I got to tell you, folks, there's nothing like it. So for those of you that have been doing it, you know that. For those that haven't and are here to the new to the group, certainly want to welcome you all, and so happy you're here. Any of the speakers, last minute comments before we shut down this section of the call today?
We're just grateful to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're excited.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
And-
it too.
Yeah, and it'll be good for even our people who are not on Facebook to get them more involved.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, look, everybody, we're going to go ahead and close down this section of the call. We are going to come back in just a second for a little question and answer session for anybody. And I guess, again, let me thank you all for being here. Thank you so much to all the speakers, and thank you for everyone for attending.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, let me stop this. Let me end the recording real quick.
Enjoyed being with you guys. Thanks, everybody.
Oh,
Thanks.
Bye.
I'll be looking for your encouraging words on Facebook.
there you
Yeah.
go. Perfect.
Olivia, if you decide you want to
Thanks,
be in the
everyone.
challenge- I'm sorry.
Do I say that again?
I said, if you decide you want to be in the challenge, just